Have you ever walked into a room and instantly felt that someone was hiding something from you? No words, no obvious signs. Yet something inside you quietly whispered, "Be careful." How did you know? Why does your mind notice things before your eyes do? And why do some people leave you feeling calm, while others make you feel exhausted, even if they smile the entire time? You may think you are judging people, but what if your unconscious mind has been reading human behavior all along? Every single day you meet people, friends, family, strangers. Some inspire trust immediately. Others make you uncomfortable, even though they have done nothing wrong. You cannot always explain it. You simply feel it. Most people ignore these feelings. They tell themselves they are imagining things, but later, they discover they were right. Why? Because human behavior speaks long before words do. Carl Jung believed that much of human behavior is driven by forces hidden beneath conscious awareness. Not because people are evil, not because they want to deceive you, but because even they do not fully understand themselves. Think about your own life. Have you ever said something, then later wondered, why did I react like that? Have you ever pushed away someone you loved, only to regret it afterward? Or trusted someone who eventually broke your heart? Why does this happen again and again? The answer is not always outside you. Sometimes, it begins inside. A retired teacher once shared a story. For years, she believed one of her neighbors disliked her. Every greeting felt cold. Every conversation seemed forced. She avoided him whenever possible. Then one winter afternoon, she discovered he had been caring for his wife, who was slowly losing her memory. His silence had never been hatred. It was grief. One simple truth changed years of misunderstanding. How many people have you misunderstood? And how many people have misunderstood you? Human behavior is like an iceberg. What you see above the surface is only a small part. The real story lives underneath. That hidden world silently shapes relationships, decisions, dreams, fear, love, and even your identity. Here is something even more surprising. The greatest mystery may not be the people around you. It may be you. What if the habits you repeat, the people you attract, the emotions you cannot explain, have been quietly guiding your life for decades? What if understanding human behavior is not about controlling others, but finally understanding yourself? Today, we are not going to judge people. We are going to explore them with curiosity, with compassion, and through the timeless psychological ideas of Carl Jung. By the end of this journey, you may never look at another person or yourself the same way again. But before we uncover the hidden patterns of the human mind, there is one mystery that almost everyone overlooks. But there is a deeper psychological reason behind this. Imagine two people facing exactly the same situation. Both lose their jobs. One person sees an opportunity, the other falls into despair. The event is the same. So why are their reactions completely different? Or think about this. Why do two brothers raised in the same home become completely different adults? One becomes kind and patient. The other becomes angry and distant. If life shapes us, why does the same life create different people? Now ask yourself, have you ever met someone who seemed successful, yet carried sadness in their eyes? Or someone with very little, yet smiled with genuine peace? What creates that difference? Is it money, education, luck, or is something much deeper shaping the human mind? Most people believe behavior is simple. If someone is angry, they are just an angry person. If someone lies, they are simply dishonest. If someone avoids people, they must be unfriendly. But what if these conclusions are incomplete? What if behavior is more like a message than a definition? Imagine seeing smoke rising above a forest. Would you blame the smoke? Or would you search for the hidden fire? Human behavior works in the same way. The behavior you notice may only be the visible smoke. The real cause often remains hidden. A man spends years trying to impress everyone around him. He works longer hours, buys expensive things, never says no. People admire him, yet every night he feels empty. Why? Because his behavior is not driven by confidence. It is driven by an old fear of not feeling worthy. The behavior is visible. The wound is invisible. How often do we judge the behavior without asking about the wound? Now think about your own life. Have you ever become angry when you were actually afraid? Have you ever laughed while hiding deep sadness? Have you ever told someone, "I'm fine," even when you wished someone would notice you were not? If you have, then you already understand something important. Human beings rarely reveal their whole story. Carl Jung spent much of his life exploring this hidden side of the mind. He believed that every person carries an inner world that is larger than they realize. A world filled with forgotten memories, hidden fears, unspoken desires, untapped strengths, and parts of themselves they have never met. This hidden world quietly influences every conversation, every relationship, every important decision. Here is another question. What if the person who frustrates you the most is unknowingly reflecting something you have never accepted within yourself? It sounds uncomfortable, maybe even impossible. Yet this single idea has transformed the lives of countless people who chose to look inward instead of only looking outward. A grandfather once told his grandson, "When I was young, I thought life was about changing other people. When I became older, I realized the hardest person to understand was myself." Those words stayed with the boy for years. Eventually, he discovered they were true, because every journey toward understanding others begins with understanding yourself. In the next part, we will step into one of Carl Jung's most powerful psychological ideas, an idea that explains why people wear invisible masks, why hidden emotions quietly shape behavior, and why true transformation begins the moment you have the courage to meet the parts of yourself that have remained unseen. That is where the real journey begins. In the next part, we'll introduce Carl Jung's core psychological concept and connect it to everyday behavior before moving into the first major lesson. Imagine looking into a mirror. You see your face, your expression, your eyes. But is that really all of you? Carl Jung believed the answer was no. He believed that every human being has two worlds. One is visible, the other remains hidden. The visible world is the person you show everyone. The hidden world is the person you rarely allow anyone to see. Every day, you wear different masks. At work, you behave one way. With your family, another. With strangers, you become even more careful. This is normal. Jung called this the persona. The persona is the social mask you create so you can live peacefully with other people. It helps you fit into society. It helps you earn respect. It helps you survive. But there is a danger. When you wear the mask for too long, you can forget who you really are. Have you ever smiled when you wanted to cry? Have you ever agreed with someone just to avoid an argument? Have you ever pretended everything was fine while your heart was breaking? Almost everyone has. A successful businessman once attended a family gathering. Everyone admired him. They praised his career. They called him confident. They wished they had his life. But when he returned home, he sat alone in complete silence. He had spent years becoming the man everyone expected. Yet he no longer recognized himself. His success impressed the world, but it could not comfort his soul. How many people are living this way? Maybe more than we realize. Maybe even you. Pause for a moment. If no one expected anything from you, who would you become? That question can feel uncomfortable because it asks you to look beyond the mask. And that is where real growth begins. Jung believed that beneath the persona lies another hidden part of the mind, a place filled with forgotten emotions, rejected memories, hidden talents, old fears, dreams you abandoned, and pieces of yourself that never had the chance to grow. He called this hidden part the unconscious. Most people believe they make decisions logically, but psychology tells a different story. Many choices happen long before conscious thinking begins. Your past influences your present. Your fears influence your confidence. Your hidden beliefs influence your relationships, without realizing it. You may be repeating the same emotional patterns again and again. Have you ever wondered why you keep trusting the wrong people, or why certain situations trigger emotions that seem much stronger than the moment itself? The answer is rarely the situation alone. It often comes from something buried much deeper. Think of a tree. Everyone notices its branches, its leaves, its fruit. Very few people think about the roots, yet the roots determine everything. Human behavior is no different. Behavior is the branches. The unconscious is the roots. If the roots remain unhealthy, the branches will always struggle. This is why understanding yourself is more powerful than trying to control everyone else. Because once you understand the roots, the entire tree begins to change. That is why Carl Jung believed the greatest journey in life is not traveling across the world, it is traveling within yourself. And now comes one of the most important lessons you can ever learn. A lesson that explains why so many people continue repeating the same painful experiences. Lesson number 1. You cannot change what you refuse to see. Imagine driving every day with one eye closed. You could still reach your destination, but you would miss half the road. Many people live exactly this way. Not physically, emotionally. They notice the mistakes of others, but never their own patterns. They remember every insult they received, but forget the pain they caused. This is not because they are bad people. It is because the human mind naturally protects itself. Sometimes, it hides uncomfortable truths, not to hurt you, but to help you survive. A woman spent 20 years believing that everyone eventually abandoned her. She blamed friends, relationships, even her children. She believed people always left. Then one day, during a conversation with a therapist, she realized something surprising. Every time someone became emotionally close, she slowly pushed them away. Not because she wanted to lose them, because she feared they would leave first. So she left emotionally before they could. Her greatest fear created the very outcome she wanted to avoid. How often does this happen in everyday life? More often than we think. Have you ever noticed yourself reacting strongly to something small? Perhaps someone ignored your message. Perhaps a stranger criticized you. Perhaps one comment stayed in your mind for days. Ask yourself, was your reaction really about that moment? Or did it awaken an older wound? This is where psychology becomes powerful. Behavior is often an echo. The present awakens the past. Carl Jung encouraged people to become observers of their own minds. Instead of asking, "Why are people treating me this way?" he believed a more powerful question was, "What inside me is being activated by this experience?" That single question changes everything, because it shifts your attention from blame to awareness, and awareness creates freedom. Imagine carrying a heavy backpack for years. You become so used to the weight that you forget you're carrying it. One day, someone removes it. Only then do you realize how heavy it really was. Hidden emotional patterns work the same way. You adapt to them. You build your life around them. Until one moment of awareness changes everything. Here is a question worth reflecting on. What emotional weight have you been carrying for years? Without even knowing it? Perhaps it is fear, perhaps guilt, perhaps disappointment, or perhaps an old belief that you are not enough. Whatever it is, you do not have to carry it forever, because the moment you become aware of a pattern, you are no longer completely controlled by it. And that is the first step towards transformation. In the next part, we will explore why hidden emotions quietly control so much of human behavior and why the parts of yourself you reject often become the strongest forces shaping your life. Reason/lesson. Number 2. The shadow. The hidden parts of yourself that control your life. Have you ever met a side of yourself that you did not want to accept? A moment when you became more angry than you expected? A moment when jealousy appeared? A moment when fear controlled your decision? Most people try to hide these parts. They say, "That is not who I am." But Carl Jung believed something important. The parts of ourselves that we reject do not disappear. They move into the shadows. Jung called this hidden part of the personality the shadow. The shadow is not simply the bad side of a person. It contains everything we push away. Emotions we consider unacceptable, talents we never developed, desires we were afraid to express, pain we never processed. The shadow is the part of yourself you do not want others to see. But here is the mystery. The more you deny it, the more power it can have over you. Imagine a person who always says, "I am never angry." But every small problem makes them explode. They do not understand why. They believe the anger came from nowhere. But the anger was not created in that moment. It was ignored for years. A man spent his entire life trying to appear strong. He never complained. He never asked for help. Everyone saw him as the person who could handle anything. But inside, he felt exhausted. He believed needing support was weakness. So he buried his sadness. He buried his fear. He buried his need for connection. Until one day, he realized something. The emotions he was trying to escape were the emotions trying to teach him something. How many people are doing the same? How many people are fighting parts of themselves instead of understanding them? Ask yourself, what emotion do you struggle to accept? Is it sadness, anger, fear, loneliness? The answer may reveal something important about your inner world. Because emotions are not enemies, they are messages. Fear may be showing you where you need courage. Sadness may be showing you what mattered. Anger may be showing you where a boundary was crossed. The problem is not having emotions. The problem is refusing to listen to them. Think about a warning light on a car dashboard. You can cover it with tape. You can ignore it. You can pretend nothing is wrong. But the problem underneath remains. Your emotions work the same way. They are signals from deeper parts of your mind. When you understand them, you gain wisdom. When you suppress them, they often control you from the background. This is why self-discovery requires honesty, not harsh judgment, not shame, just awareness. You do not heal the shadow by fighting it. You heal it by bringing it into the light. A person who understands their own darkness becomes less controlled by it. They become calmer, more patient, more compassionate, not only toward others, but toward themselves. And this creates a powerful transformation, because when you stop running from yourself, you finally become free to choose who you want to become. But there is another deeper question. If understanding your hidden emotions changes your life, what happens when you discover your true self beyond all the masks you have created? That leads us to the next lesson. Reason/lesson. Number 3. Individuation, becoming the person you were meant to be. Most people spend their lives becoming what others expect. A good employee, a responsible parent, a successful person, a strong person, a person who never disappoints anyone. These roles are important, but there comes a moment when you must ask, am I living my own life, or only the life others created for me? Carl Jung called the journey toward becoming your complete self-individuation. It is the process of bringing all parts of yourself together. Your strengths, your weaknesses, your memories, your emotions, your dreams, your conscious mind, and your unconscious mind. It is not about becoming someone new. It is about discovering who you have always been. Many people think success means collecting more money, more achievements, more recognition. But later in life, many discover a different truth. A person can have everything the world admires and still feel disconnected from themselves. Why? Because external success cannot replace inner understanding. A woman spent decades building a successful career. She achieved everything she wanted. People respected her. She had financial security. She had status. But one evening, she looked at an old photograph from her younger years. She remembered the dreams she once had, the creativity she abandoned, the passion she ignored. She realized something painful. She had become successful, but she had forgotten herself. That moment became the beginning of her transformation. She started painting again. She started learning. She started exploring the parts of herself she had ignored. She did not become a different person. She became more complete. This is the heart of individuation, becoming whole, not perfect, whole, because perfection is an illusion. Every human being has contradictions. You can be strong and still need support. You can be successful and still have fears. You can love others and still need to learn self-love. Accepting these truths creates inner peace. Now ask yourself, what part of yourself have you ignored for too long? A dream, a talent, a feeling, a truth you have been avoiding? Sometimes the greatest changes in life do not begin with doing more. They begin with understanding more. Understanding why you think the way you think, why you feel what you feel, why you repeat certain patterns. Because when you understand yourself, you gain the ability to change yourself. And when you change yourself, your entire relationship with life changes. The world may remain the same. People may remain the same. But your awareness becomes different. And that changes everything. In the final part, we will bring all these ideas together. We will explore how you can use self-awareness, emotional understanding, and Carl Jung's psychological wisdom to transform your relationships, your mindset, and the way you see your own life. The journey from confusion to clarity begins within you. The moment you begin understanding yourself, your life begins to change for most of your life. You may have been searching for answers outside yourself. You searched for better relationships, better opportunities, better circumstances. You thought, if people understood me, I would feel happier. If my situation changed, I would finally feel peaceful. If I achieved more, I would finally feel complete. But Carl Jung's psychology reveals a deeper truth. The greatest transformation does not begin with changing the outside world. It begins with understanding the world inside you, because the way you see life is influenced by the way you see yourself. Two people can experience the same situation. One sees rejection, the other sees redirection. One sees failure, the other sees a lesson. The event is the same, but the meaning they create is different, and that meaning shapes their entire life. So ask yourself, what stories have you been telling yourself? Have you been telling yourself that you are too old to change, too damaged to grow, too late to begin again? Or have you been carrying an identity created by your past? A mistake you made, a failure you experienced, a painful moment someone caused. Many people allow one chapter of their life to define the entire book. But your past is a teacher. It is not your identity. Your experiences shaped you, but they do not have to control you. This is where self-awareness becomes powerful. When you become aware of your thoughts, you create distance from them. You realize, I have this thought, but you are not the thought. I feel this emotion, but you are not only the emotion. I experienced this pain, but you are not only your pain. You are the person who can observe, understand, and transform. The power of emotional awareness. Imagine a person walking through life carrying a locked box. Inside the box are memories, regrets, fears, old wounds. They carry it everywhere, in relationships, at work, during quiet moments. They wonder why life feels heavy, but they never open the box. They never ask, "What am I carrying?" One day, they finally open it, and they discover something surprising. The things inside were not there to destroy them. They were waiting to be understood. Your emotions are similar. The feelings you avoid often contain important information. Loneliness may reveal your need for connection. Fear may reveal an area where you need courage. Pain may reveal something that needs healing. The goal is not to remove every difficult emotion. The goal is to understand yourself deeply enough that emotions no longer control every decision. You become the person who chooses your response, not the person who is controlled by every reaction. Think about a person who always reacts with anger. Someone says something uncomfortable. They immediately attack. Later, they regret it. Before awareness, the reaction controls them. After awareness, they have a choice. They can pause, they can understand, they can respond differently. This is true psychological strength, not the absence of emotion, the ability to understand emotion. Building a new relationship with yourself. Many people spend their entire lives trying to be accepted by others, but they never ask, "Do I accept myself?" Not the perfect version, not the version everyone praises, the real version, the person with strengths, the person with weaknesses, the person still learning. Carl Jung believed that becoming whole requires accepting all parts of yourself. The confident parts, the uncertain parts, the successful moments, the painful moments. Because a person who accepts themselves does not need to constantly prove their value. They stop searching for approval everywhere. They begin living with inner confidence. A man once spent years trying to impress everyone around him. He wanted people to see him as successful. He wanted admiration. He wanted respect. But one day, he realized something. He was not building a life he loved. He was building a life that looked impressive. That realization changed him. He began asking different questions, not, "What will people think?" but, "What feels meaningful to me?" Not, "How can I prove myself?" but, "How can I become more authentic?" That shift created peace because he stopped performing and started living. Human behavior is one of the greatest mysteries in the world, but the deepest mystery is not other people. It is yourself. Why do you think the way you think? Why do you feel what you feel? Why do you repeat certain patterns? Why do some memories still influence you after many years? These questions are not signs of weakness. They are signs of awareness. Carl Jung's wisdom reminds us that the journey inward is one of the most important journeys a person can take. Because when you understand yourself, you begin to understand others. When you accept yourself, you become more accepting of others. When you face your hidden emotions, they lose their power over you. The goal is not to become someone completely different. The goal is to become more fully yourself. The world does not need another person pretending to be perfect. It needs people who are aware, people who are honest, people who understand their own minds and hearts. So before you leave this journey, ask yourself one final question. What part of myself have I been avoiding that is waiting to be understood? Maybe the answer will not come immediately. Maybe it will take time. But every great transformation begins with a single moment of honesty. A moment where you stop running. A moment where you look within. A moment where you say, "I want to understand myself." Because the person who understands their own mind can change their own life, and the person who changes their own life can change the way they experience the entire world. Your journey of self-discovery does not end here. It begins the moment you choose to look within.